Oh, they ain't tell y'all? You tuning into the best morning show on the globe. It's Bradham and Emery in the morning, y'all. LeBron or Jordan, either one when I'm performing. Crossover, buzzer beater and I'm scoring. Bradham and Emery in the morning. Every play they on it. Every day I'm balling. Who's the coach? Who's the GOAT? Like Brady and Belichick, best show on the globe. And they embellish it. Y'all paying Ziffy. I'm Ken Griffey or maybe Mahomes. I stay in the zone, whether man to man or play in the zone. They can't stop me. Mayweather boxing. Curry with the shot, man. We just the best to be. Can we have our SB, please? This was meant to be. Every morning with Bradham and Emery.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know the vibes. Bradham in the morning. Marques Bradham, Justin Emery.
Yo.
I want to have a discussion about ex-girlfriends and ex-boyfriends. Because we've all been there before. We've all had breakups. And I'm from the school of when a breakup ends and your relationship's over, the competition begins.
Okay.
I don't care what anyone says. You always want to be doing better than your ex. Like, it just becomes like once we're not on the same team anymore, you're playing for a different team now. So I can't root for you. Just like you're not rooting for me. I don't wish harm on you. I'll pretend like you went to the Western Conference team. I'm on the Eastern Conference. We can pretend that. But let's not sit here and act like we're not on competing sides. We are. Is that fair?
Do me a favor. Check your settings and make sure that your audio is set for the Scarlet. And I'll just edit this part out. But I'm getting a little bit of a feedback, and I think and I can hear it in your voice a little bit too. So I think it might be that.
Settings right here on StreamYard.
Yeah.
Is it? Is it?
Hit settings. It should be on the right hand side.
Right hand side.
See where it says settings.
Top right or bottom right?
Or does it say like or how about at the bottom? Does it say cam/mic?
It says Microsoft Edge is using my microphone.
No. Like on StreamYard itself.
Oh, cam mic?
Yeah, hit that.
Yep.
And go to audio.
Yep.
And what's it set for?
Scarlet.
Okay. Well, I mean, the echo went away, so we're fine now.
Okay.
So I'll just edit this part back. I'll just edit all this out. All right.
All right. So,
but yes, you're right. Like see, here's the thing: is like I'm not really a spiteful person because, like, I don't hold grudges. Like I just after a while, I just stop caring.
Right.
So like, I also joke around, and it's only a half a joke, that like after like my brain only has like a 90-day registry. Like after 90 days, it just gets wiped clean.
Listen, I've been known to be Richard Petty. I'm not gonna lie. I've been known to be a little Petty LaBelle, and I'm getting better as I get older because I'm evolving. I'm not as bad as I used to be. However, that's just how it is. And I wanted to start there to go here. I don't know if it's my fault, but
I'm definitely the grudge in the beginning is there, but after a while, it just
starts to fade away. It's still competition. It's not, we're not rivals, but like I want to achieve things before you achieve them.
That's fair.
So I don't know if it's just me, and it might just be me.
Okay.
I'm going through the timeline on Twitter, and I come across the Carson Wentz knockout game. He's playing knockout with those wide receivers. And at first, I'm looking at it, and it's not bothering.
Like basketball knockout?
Yeah, they were doing the OTAs down in Indianapolis. And everyone's made a huge circle on the field. They had a hoop. And I guess Carson was down the last two with one of their wide receivers. So they're playing knockout, and everyone's cheering them on. It was a cool scene. It was cool to watch. I had no feelings at first. Then I start reading the comments. And it's like, oh, look how happy Carson is. He's so happy. Oh, look how great this is. He's going to be back to his old swagger. Oh, I can't wait to see him on the field this year. He's going to be playing so well. Do you see how happy he is? I'm sorry. When did a game of knockout translate to wins on a football field or quarterbacking on a football field? Am I crazy to think that does not translate?
I mean, Carson was a star basketball player in high school. I mean, so what?
Most guys, and usually when you have a guy that's good at one sport, he's usually good at other sports too. Like,
Yeah,
especially when it comes to the football, basketball, baseball. They usually, like, Russell Wilson was a really good baseball player. Kyler Murray, same thing.
I mean, they used to say Sam Bradford could have played in the NHL if he wanted to. He was that good at hockey.
Right. Yes. Who else was I think? Terrell Owens was a really good basketball player. Like, yeah. So you have this. Like, so Michael Pittman Jr., one of the wide receivers on
the one who wouldn't give up his number, correct?
Yes. On this is him on Carson's leadership. So I have no idea what everyone's talking about. Sounds like a lot of smoke out of Philadelphia around Wentz is non-existent. Bro, he's been there for a whole 3 days. Like, pump the brakes, calm down. Like, you new to this? We true to this. We've dealt with this numbskull for 4, 5+ years. And it was accumulation of all of that stuff is the reason why he's not here anymore. So it's just like in the beginning of a relationship. All it is what? Sex, walks, going to the bar, whatever. It's great. A honeymoon period. You don't really know a person to a good year. You don't know. All it is joy. Of course, you're in the joyous stage now. You're in the happy stage. So of course, anything that we've complained about, you're gonna feel like, oh, they're not telling the truth. They're not being truthful. I'm over here. This person's an angel. Until 6 months in, when you get in your first crazy argument, you realize, I'm starting to see some of those things that we're talking about over there.
I mean, yeah. Of course, he's going to be on his best behavior,
right?
Like what? And I have no. I've numbed myself to Carson. I have nothing on this. I don't care.
I'd really like to. I'd like to say that I've come to a place where it's like that 75% is all I'm worried about, but I'm just not there yet. I'm still very bitter about how all this ended. And every time I think I've gotten better, something will pop up about him and it'll just make me upset.
See, here's what it is the Eagles got the best out of him, in my opinion. That year that he got hurt was his best year he'll ever have. The injuries have taken their toll. And he can still be very successful because he has the tools to be successful. But he has to change his style of play if he wants to be successful. He will not change his style of play. So therefore, I don't think he will be successful. I think he's a guy who will hang around the league for a long time. Think like who's somebody? Who's a guy that like hung around as a backup for, like, think about like a Matt Hasselbeck kind of guy. Like, he had all the tools to be good. He just, like, didn't have it to go long. But upstairs, he had everything to be a backup mentor for I mean, who didn't he back up for a while?
Right.
He backed up
he was in Green
Bay forever.
Yeah, he started a little bit in Seattle.
He was a starter for a while, but as he got older, as he got more banged up, he was just a guy you would bring in. Like, who's the guy that just got hurt? McCown, that kind. Yeah. So Carson, if he switches up his style, he needs to do like the Kurt Warner thing, where Kurt was back up, kind of lost himself a little bit, and then came back in Arizona. Boom, went to the Super Bowl. Granny lost, but still, Carson needs to change it. He's lost his athleticism.
It's also, I mean, it's a personality thing too, where like if being quarterback comes with responsibilities of being a leader and having those leadership potentials, and like he didn't show that when he was here. He just didn't. That wasn't the thing here. And like I say it all the time, like everyone can't be wrong. There was way too many people that questioned his leadership abilities and questioned the way he handled things for there not to be truth to it. So for Michael Pittman Jr. to come out when you've known the guy for 3 days and talk about how he doesn't understand what we're talking about in Philadelphia.
If he was that great of a leader and all that, you would have given up your number.
Right. Right. If you had that much respect for him, you would have given the number.
Am I wrong?
No, absolutely not. Listen, with him, it's just always going to be sore because the way the relationship ended, is always going to be a source for me, because the way it's slanted, again, we talked about this before, where we all know Howie Roseman was part of the problem. No one's saying that. We understand the 5,000 million rings that just went wrong. But again, the number one reason this all went south was because of him and his attitude and him being butthurt over Jalen Hurts and all of that that happened. That's why he's not here anymore. He had a choice to come here. He had a choice to stay here and right the wrongs, right the perception. He chose not to do that. He chose to go elsewhere. He wanted to go elsewhere. He wanted to leave. And I mean, you look at I go to parallel. Look at Green Bay. What's going on with Aaron Rodgers out there? Like Aaron Rodgers, like I get it. First of all, Aaron Rodgers has been there for a million years, and they've done wrong by him consistently for the majority of that time. Like Carson, you don't have those same gripes as this organization because you don't have the stripes that Aaron Rodgers has put in. You just don't. You're not coming off an MVP year. You're not. Your coach didn't take the ball out of you on fourth down against the GOAT. That didn't happen to you. Like Aaron Rodgers, and also too, by the way, all the years they wasted in Green Bay with Aaron Rodgers, not giving him wide receivers, not giving him a running game, not giving him proper defense. You know, I go back to 2009. If you would have told me, 2010, when they won their Super Bowl, if you would have told me Aaron Rodgers would not appear in a Super Bowl again and it'd be 2021, I'd be like, you're out of your mind. We'll see this guy at least 3 or 4 more times. We haven't seen him since. So, and he's come close, but really he's come close on the strength of how good he's been, not the surrounding pieces that he's supposed to have. So I understand where he's coming from. I get it. I understand his frustration and him to be like, you know what? I'm out. I understand.
Now, I will say this, so I've never hidden that I was how big of a Carson fan I was when he was with the Eagles. I never disputed that or anything. But without his play that year, the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl.
Facts.
Okay? Without the number 1 seed and all of that, they don't win the Super Bowl.
Big facts.
But also, on the other hand, he didn't win the Super Bowl.
Also facts.
And that's what needs to be. I think that part of it is that how much credit does he give himself for that Super Bowl win? And I think that his attitude doesn't reflect how much he actually deserves. Like I said, you don't get there without the number 1 seed. He goes 13-2, 12-2, whatever it was as a starter. You don't get the number 1 seed without his play, and you don't get to the Super Bowl without the number 1 seed. But
I think there's a conversation people have had. Like they've said, yo, Carson, listen, we're not here without you. Because I'm sure there's been plenty of times, after that Super Bowl when Nick Foles played as well as he did, got the MVP, like that had to mess with the psyche. I see, I understand and recognize all of that. So I'm sure in the office, the exit meetings, whatever, they're saying, hey man, this Super Bowl, you're just much as part of this as Nick is, if not more, because those games, you guys in the position to have home field advantage to be able to get the Super Bowl. But in his head, there's a Carson problem. In his head, does he believe that? Or does he believe that the Super Bowl was the end-all be-all, and those games, yeah, I was there, but I wasn't there part of the real run. I didn't win the divisional game. I didn't win the NFC Championship game. I didn't win a Super Bowl. I wasn't Super Bowl MVP. I was on the sidelines. So this wasn't really my Super Bowl year. Even though people said I would have been regular season MVP, I wasn't because I got hurt. Is that how he's looking at it?
That's how he should look at it.
But if he looks at it that way, is that the reason what started the downward fall of him trying to pick that up?
He needs to be somewhere in the middle because he can't prop himself up as if he did everything. So if he has that chip on his shoulder, it should grow even bigger because you've had a taste of it without participating in it.
There needs to be a happy balance.
What it comes down to it is let's just call it what it is. He's not mentally strong enough. Like that's just
yeah, absolutely 1000%. And that's kind of what we're saying. Like there should be a happy balance. He should be happy with what he did to get the team in position, but he should be hungry to get that Super Bowl himself. However, I don't think that's how he looked at it, because I think looked at it, like I said, where he looked at it as like, none of this is mine. This is all Nick. And that's why in 2018, he ends up coming back way sooner than he should have and ends up getting himself hurt again. Like all of that, like he came back just because he wanted to take his job back.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's why he came back. He wasn't ready to play again. He wasn't ready at all. And it showed what happened with his back. That's what happened. That's why all happened the way it did. And they had to shut him down because he shouldn't have been back in the first place. But listen, all of these things that we're describing are things that kind of, organically happened, just worked out that way. But at the same time, because of his inability to be mentally tough, this is where we sit. So I don't want to hear anything circling it back. I don't want to hear anything about Carson's new attitude. I don't want to hear anything about his leadership right now. I don't want to hear it. It's too fresh. It's too soon. Until proven otherwise, he's the same old Carson. Just play 75% of your games and otherwise go away.
Get us that first round pick. That's all I care about.
And if you're in Philly, I don't want to see you tweeting anything out about, Carson's new attitude, how great. No, stop. Stop it. Stop it. He's not your girlfriend anymore. He left you. He left you to go to Indianapolis with another girl. Go find another girlfriend. Jalen Hurts is our girlfriend now. Keep that same energy with Jalen. We don't need to worry about Carson, what he's doing. Keep that same energy with Jalen. That's our girl now.
Now, let me ask you, let's stay in the world of football real quick before we go to a break. Everybody knows my opinion on what I think about Shannon Sharp and all that. I'm a big fan. of a lot of people over FS1. And he did some wild stuff.
Shay.
Uncle, what's it? Club Shay Shay. We got to go to Club Shay Shay sometime. If we ever end up going to LA, we got to make sure we go to Club Shay Shay.
I'm in.
Live on the air with Skip.
Yeah.
Phone call to Julio. Julio says he's out of Atlanta.
Oh, I'm out of there.
So my question to you, Julio or no? And before you answer that, let me hear your thought on it, because I don't want my opinion to pollute your opinion.
I mean, it's weird for me to say no to Julio Jones, but there's a couple things that I have a problem with. And the number one thing is Julio Jones, when healthy, is a top-notch wide receiver. No one's disputing that. I worry about the injuries with him. He has a very hard time staying healthy. And it's not like these huge, big injuries. He gets these very knick-knack, like a turf toe,
hamstring,
a hamstring, like all things like this. Never like a quad or a torn off hamstring or a torn Achilles. It's always just little knick-knack injuries out for a week. He's questionable. Maybe. We don't know. I don't know. I don't think it makes sense for Julio Jones to want to come here, because while I do think the Eagles will be better than people think, I don't think they're in position to win a Super Bowl this year. And I don't think they're in position for a deep playoff run. So he wants to win. I don't think this makes sense. And if you're the Eagles, if you're not in a position to win a Super Bowl now, why would you go get Julio Jones and give up one of the number one picks for that? I don't see the point. And again, the injuries, there's always something naggingly wrong with Julio Jones. And I don't want it. I'm going to say no.
I'm in the same school of thought. I honestly did not think you were going to be in agreement with me, to be honest with you. I thought you were going to want him. I mean, like you said,
if this was 2 years ago, I'm in.
It's hard to say no to Julio, especially when after June 1st, you would be able to afford him.
Yeah.
The amount of coverage that gets shifted to his side of the field would be insane.
Yeah.
But by the time this team is ready to go, Julio will not be a part of it anymore. So why put the assets into something that, this is like putting a brand new battery in a junk car. Just get a new car. Because by the time you have to replace all the other things, that battery is already going to be shot and need to be replaced anyway.
Yeah, I mean, I get your analogy. Again, I think we stand a little differently on about what the team's going to be in the fall, but I think we're both in agreement that they're not going to be competing for Super Bowl, and they're not
in my opinion, minimum of 2 seasons away, probably closer to 3 to being real contenders.
Yeah, I mean, and again, like this, like if this
and
was
what I mean by contenders is that you're competing for the bye in the conference.
Right. If this was 2 years ago, I'm in on Julio.
Oh, I'm going
because the team is in a place where you think they're going to be.
Yes,
they're going to be competing, but they're not there right now. They're young, they're pups, and also too, I'll say this too about Julio Jones. I don't really want that Atlanta stank on me because Atlanta has not been a winning organization in God knows how long, and like I don't want that mentality coming to my locker room. Like if you're a veteran, I want you coming from a winning organization. Like if you're that type of player, like especially for because wide receivers have a very selfish, self-centered personality on a good day, and mostly for most wide receivers, it's about me getting mine and me getting my numbers, and the team is second. And you can magnify that by 1,000 on a losing organization. Like AJ Green, for instance, I don't want that. You're a loser. Yeah. Like you got losers juice all over you. Like I don't want that in my locker room. Get out.
That's funny. That's funny. Well, we're gonna hit a quick break.
As a person, you're not a loser. I'm sure you've done very, very well in life. I'm talking about strictly in sports terms. You're a sports loser. You lost most of your Not it's all your fault, but you lost.
Cincinnati. What do you expect?
Yeah, right. It's same thing with Atlanta. And Atlanta's a terrible sports city. It's all bad. No, thank you.
No. So we're gonna hit a quick break, and on the other side, we got some NBA to talk about.
Yes.
Let's get after it.
Bradman in the morning. Marques, Brown, Justin Emery. We'll be right back.
Looking for authentic Mexican food close to home? Great news. District Taco has opened its newest location in Abington, Pennsylvania, and they'd love to fiesta with you. Offering Yucatanian fish tacos, burrito mojados smothered in delicious salsa, and crispy sweet churros, District Taco has it all. Try out the newest location or check out their website, districttaco.com, and come back for more. District Taco. Always fresh, always Mexican.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys today about my friends at Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream. USA Today selected Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream as the best ice cream parlor in Pennsylvania. Uncle Mike's is a family-owned and dedicated to the production of premium quality and gourmet ice cream and sorbet, made fresh daily on the premises using the highest quality ingredients available. Uncle Mike's features over 30 unique delicious flavors offered in scoops, sundaes, shakes, and special order ice cream cakes and pies. Uncle Mike's Homemade Ice Cream is located at 537 York Road in Warminster and is open all year round. Visit Uncle Mike's and let their friendly staff serve you happiness one scoop at a time.
Yeah, man, and we back.
Bradman in the morning, Marques, Brown, Justin Emery. Welcome back. NBA playoffs full underway. I want to start in going to Boston.
Brooklyn looked good last night.
They looked very, very good. And the thing
I'm
about
not even gonna lie, they looked impressive last night.
It was. Well,
I mean, Boston isn't a great team,
right?
But I will say that Brooklyn looked good last night.
You can't front on that. Absolutely, they looked really, really good. And when you have a team as good as their stars are, where you have Harden, you have Irving, you have Durant, what are you gonna get from your role players? And the nice thing about them is they got one of the best shooters in the NBA in Joe Harris right next to him. Mm-hmm. And Joe Harris showed how good a shooter he was by dropping 16 in the first 2 minutes of the game. And guys like that, you got to worry about.
I think he had 20 in the first quarter.
Yeah. Yep. I think it's actually 21, but yeah.
Yeah.
And it was all, and you watch the shots he gets, they're all easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Everything is just wide open practice shots. And a guy like that, he's gonna knock those down. So yeah, they look really good last night.
They did. Blake Griffin turning the clock back a little bit.
Yeah, a couple Blake Schultz.
It looked tough for him to get up there.
Yeah, but he got there though.
He got there. It wasn't the most graceful thing, but he definitely got there.
It wasn't as effortless as back in 2011, but he got there. He got where he needed to So now the scene shifts to Boston. And I'm sure you guys are aware out there that Kyrie left Boston to come to Brooklyn. He left Boston to come to Brooklyn after he promised that he was going back to Boston. So Kyrie was asked about returning to Boston. This is what he had to say. I'm just looking forward to competing with my teammates, and hopefully we can just keep it strictly basketball. There's no belligerence or racism going on. Subtle racism, he added. People yelling the S word from the crowd, but even if it is, it's part of the nature of the game, and we're just going to focus on what we can control. When asked if he had experienced racism while playing in the city in the past, Kyrie stated, I'm not the only one that could attest to this, but it is what it is. The whole world knows it. This is courtesy of Vlad TV, by the way. Listen, what he's saying about the element of racism in Boston sports, that is truth. That cannot be disputed. There has been years and years of documentation of things being hurled at players at the Boston.
Wasn't there an incident with, was it Julio Okafor when he played for the Sixers?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Or was it maybe Nerlens Noel?
It was Okafor. It was Okafor.
Yeah.
He had an incident out that seemed to be racially motivated. Boston's one of those cities that you're going to get some of that energy. Another city also is Indiana. There's been issues there. I can go back to the Allen Iverson era when the Sixers played them there, and you saw AI yelling some pretty wild things to the crowd, and he was asked about it afterwards, and he said it was motivated because he was getting racial taunts, and he started talking back. Now, like I said, there is an element of that, and I don't want to take that away. I want to say that right now. I recognize that does happen in Boston. No question about it. However, Kyrie, we see what you're doing here. We see what you're doing. Because now you are taking that racial component and you are taking yourself leaving and you're putting it all into a box and packing it up for everything that everyone to see. Like, you did that city dirty, bro. You did. You left them high. Like, you came there talking about how this is your home. You want to spend 10, 15 years here. Like, you want to be part of the community. Like, I'm leaving Cleveland because I want to set my own reputation here in Boston. Then you were out. And not only did you leave, you said in your exit interviews, everything like that, you want to come back to Boston. And then you didn't. So the energy that you're going to receive tonight, I'm sorry, not tonight, on Friday, I'm sorry. The energy you're going to receive on a Friday, you're going to receive that energy because of what you were in Boston. Now, again, there may be some of those aspects there, but that has nothing to do with this. You were getting a lot of this energy because of the way you treated the average fan there. And what's not fair about this is that now you can have a guy or a girl who's really into sports and just hates you because of what you did to them. Now they're going to be sitting on their hands afraid to express their feelings because you put this energy out here and made it seem and feel like, oh, if I get booed on Friday, it's because everyone there is racist, which is not true. When I said there was racial incidents that happened in that city, there were racial incidents in the city. Doesn't mean everyone in that city hates black people. No, it's not what that means. Doesn't mean everyone in that city is racist. It just means there's been a lot of that happening there. There's a lot of that happens everywhere. It happens in Philadelphia. It happens, pick a city, pick a town. It's everywhere. However, this energy that you're going to be presented with when you go to Boston, the majority of it is going to be directly because you're playing for the Brooklyn Nets. It's the NBA playoffs. It's game 3. And you did them dirty. And oh, by the way, while you were a member of the Celtics, you weren't a great member of the Celtics either. Do you remember the playoff performance you put up there when you went to Brooklyn? Like, do you remember how you played in the playoffs? For 5 for 35 shooting? Where you said I should have took 36 shots? Do you remember that? Do you remember your leadership qualities and how everyone said once you left the locker room, things got way better for everyone? Do you remember that? These are the reasons why they don't like you over there now. And it's not fair to put that on them.
Like, he's going to get booed during game 3 because he's a jackass. Like, that's why he's going to get booed.
Right. Right. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of it, like,
Like, why did Scott Rowland? I mean, I know he's not a black guy, but why did Scott Rowland get booed whenever he played in Philly? Because he did the organization wrong.
right.
It has nothing to do with, and like you said, I mean, there is a history of that happening in Boston. I mean, it almost goes hand in hand when you talk about playing games in Boston. Same
Right.
thing as what you said with Indiana.
Right.
But like everything else you said, it's because of like if the Celtics fans could delete those 2 years that he was there?
Yeah.
They could delete those 2 years that he was there. They would do that.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's why he's going to get booed. Just like Carson comes to play in the Eagles. Do you know what that's going to be like? It
Right.
has nothing to do with, and people can be like, "Oh, well, it's because he's super religious and blah blah blah." No, people are going to boo him because he's a jackass.
Right. Right. And the way you ended up leaving the city,
Yeah,
and the way you've conducted yourself since you've left the city, because
and
it's like,
he was always hurt in Boston. He was never playing any games. Like,
and listen, there's to reverse that. I know we've talked about these things happening in Boston. There's plenty of players who are black that love Boston.
oh
Like
yeah,
Perkins is one that rides hard for Boston and talks about how great they were to him. And it doesn't mean these people don't exist, but it doesn't mean every one of these people. And it doesn't mean that that's what, like, just because they're booing you, they hate you because of your color of your skin. That's not fair. It's not fair at all, because now, again, like I said, you've got people who really are genuine hardcore sports fans, and they want to voice their opinion about how they feel about you. And by the way, also, when you're one of the high profile athlete on a team and you're coming to someone else's city in a playoff environment, you already know you're getting the business. You're gonna get the business. Like, it was funny a couple months ago when Brooklyn was here, Kevin Durant didn't even play. And I started a Kevin sucks chant, and he was on the sidelines. He went, what's happening? Like, you didn't know, like, because, like, he wasn't.
it is what it is.
But it is what it is, bro. Like, you're gonna get it. Like, you heard the FU Westbrook at the Wells Fargo Center. That's how it's gonna go. That, like, this is the energy you're going to receive. So for you,
if the games are all near the city, like I would not be surprised if the Capital One Arena on Saturday has a large contingency of Sixers fans.
yeah.
I would not be surprised if they end up playing the Knicks. Atlanta, a little bit further, a little bit further away. But if they end up playing the Knicks in the second round,
yeah,
there's going to be Sixers fans in the Garden.
You'll have some up there. And it's going to be easier to get into Washington than it will be in New York, because, like, the Garden is the Garden, and, like, they're gonna, they do a better job selling out. It's a better atmosphere. But Capital One Arena you'll definitely hear some Sixers games, because also too, it's, we know because we lived there for a little bit, but the Washington Maryland line is very, very close, and you have a lot of Philly transplants in Maryland, so you're gonna have that aspect of it too. We're gonna have a lot of people that live in Maryland that are waiting for this and waiting for the opportunity to go up there. I already saw it through the timeline. A couple people heading up there to go to the game just because they live in Maryland, so they're like half hour away or whatever. So yeah, you're definitely gonna have that aspect of it, but you're also gonna have the Wizards fans with the Joe sucks chants, and we got to hold that, like the Ben sucks chants. You're Philly sucks, all that stuff, and I welcome that energy. I welcome it, because that's what I love about playoff basketball, playoff sports, period. And the fan bases, and also too, you have the aspect of this is the first time fans have been able to really attend meaningful sporting events in a very, very long time.
I think it's been 15 months, they said. Something like
that. The last time before
March 11th.
Before Sunday for Philly, it was January 2019, Seahawks Eagles was the last time there was a major gathering for a playoff sporting event. So, like, this is a big deal. So, like, a lot of these people are gonna be frothing at the mouth. So again, Kyrie, you're gonna have to hold that, my guy.
For sure.
So, sticking with the playoff theme, Go ahead.
hold on. Well, let's hit a quick break.
Okay.
And then on the other side, we'll get into the game tonight.
Yes, but I do have one more.
Okay.
I want to talk about. You want to do that now before or after the break?
Is it Sixers related or no?
No, it's basketball, but
Oh yeah. No, if it's not Sixers, let's hit it before the break.
So
I want to. After that, I want to get into heavy Sixers.
What's going on out in LA right now with the Clippers and the Maverick series? We all know this is a Luka friendly show. That's my guy.
Now hold up. Have you watched the game? Because I did not catch last night.
I did not watch game 2.
Okay, never. All right, so I'm in the same boat. I watched game 1 and did not watch game 2.
Watched game 1, did not watch game 2. Luka, I know, had a monster 39-7-7 game. Kawhi put up 41. Paul George 28.
Playoff P? Is that who it is? Playoff P, right?
P showed up a little bit last night, but here's the thing. And they brought this up on First Take this morning. And I was gonna talk about this anyway. It's interesting, they brought it up too over there. Kawhi Leonard's reputation. We got to go back to after he won the championship at Toronto. That entire summer
was the summer of Kawhi.
It was built as Kawhi Leonard is coming to take the NBA. He does a New Balance commercial. This is Kawhi. This is my city. The crown in the mirror. All of that stuff, which I was here for it because I liked. And then the idea that LeBron recruited him to LA to the Lakers. He chose the Clippers just despite LeBron. Stephen A. says all the time that he was told from his camp that he wants LeBron to stop running for him and come guard him. All that energy. Go into the bubble. You lose in the second round of the playoffs. Now you're down 2-0 to Dallas. Here's my favorite part. You were matched up to potentially play the Lakers in the first round. You tanked the last 2 games of the season to avoid the Lakers to get to Dallas. Now, first of all, the idea that you're avoiding the Lakers to me is weirdo behavior because you're the guy that told me this is your city. So why are you avoiding playing the Lakers in the first round of the playoffs? Especially if I want to see the Lakers. If I want to see the Lakers at any time, I would want to see them now while there's blood in the water. We all agree that it's not a finished product of Lakers. I feel like the Lakers team, if they continue,
are far from 100%. They are very vulnerable.
Right, and if they continue to progress, they're going to get stronger each round. You don't want to see them in the conference final when they've got a couple months under their belt and they're playing all cylinders. You want them now. So the idea that you would avoid facing them to me is interesting. And then you face a team that last year should have beat you last year. Like in the bubble, Porzingis gets thrown out of game 1. He gets hurt in game 2, and they still take you to 6. That's what you want to deal with in the first round of the playoffs? And you don't think, because a lot of these players are still there. I know they Josh Richardson's there now. Seth Curry's with us. Richardson's over there now. But like most of those guys are still there. Tim Hardaway Jr. was there. Kristaps Porzingis was there. Luka was there. Those guys, they're there. And they're not playing with you. And also, too, the biggest problem, and Snoop Dogg said this, and I completely agree. They need to get out of that stadium. They got to get out of that stadium because they don't have a home court advantage. Nobody cares about Clippers basketball out in LA. They don't care. They don't care. It's Lakers, Lakers, Lakers. What else? That's it. They don't care.
Let me tell you a quick story about Clippers basketball. Okay. This was 2016. I was in Anaheim at a podcast conference, and it wrapped up, and I stayed out there for a couple of days extra because I was like, "Yo, I'm in California. Why would I not hang around?"
Mm-hmm.
So I shot up to LA, and I wanted to see Hollywood Boulevard, or I think that's where all the Hollywood stars. You know what I mean? I wanted to see where the stars are. So I end up, park my car, or the rental car I had, boom, and I'm walking, checking it out, and there's a decent sized crowd outside of something. It's clearly some kind of like grand opening of something or other, and there's a decent sized crowd outside, and I'm like, oh, what's going on here? And some woman was like, oh, there's some LA basketball star or something over there, like promoting something. I'm like, what if it's Kobe? Like that's the first thing I thought of.
Right.
What if it's Kobe?
Right.
I go flying over there. And there's like a couple other people that like overheard this and had also thought the same thing. Because it's a very big tourist area. So everyone's like, oh man, let me go see. It was Chris Paul and Doc Rivers. And
Doc?
yeah, it was Chris Paul and Doc Rivers. And the vast majority of the crowd were employees of that place that they were grand opening.
I gotta stop here because Chris Paul's a Hall of Famer. Doc Rivers was a hell of a player and going to be a Hall of Fame coach. They're pretty big names, but it just goes to show you what they think of people that are not Lakers.
Exactly.
I mean, if Tyronn, like, this is previous coach Clippers Tyronn Lue, but if Tyronn Lue was over there with Brian Shaw, I bet you'd be mobbed.
Oh, for sure. No doubt about it.
And not because of who they are, because obviously, who's the bigger names, Doc and Paul or Lue and Shaw? Come on. So, but Lue and Shaw, they play for the Lakers, and they're part of those championship teams. So they're going to get the love forever. And that's kind of what Snoop is saying. Snoop's like, listen, you're not going to win a championship playing in our living room. It's not going to happen. Like, this is our house, not yours. Go get your own house, get your house in order, and maybe even live the city. But again, I'm going to circle back to Kawhi because it's more about him. Like, he came into all that mess.
Whoa.
You're talking about,
Clippers leaving the city.
Yeah, go to San Diego Clippers. Go out there.
That's where they came from.
Yeah, go back. But, you talk all that mess, how we're changing the culture here, all of this stuff, and nothing has changed. Like, you haven't been in the NBA Finals. You haven't even gotten you didn't even get to the conference finals. You didn't even lose to the Lakers in the conference finals. You didn't even make it there. You lost to the Joker. The Joker sent you home. Joke's on you. Pack your bags, you're out of the bubble. And now you lose your first 2 games at home, and now have to go back to Dallas with a hungry, not playing Luka.
It doesn't look good for them.
Nothing at all. This is not ideal. Not ideal at all.
No. I mean, don't get me wrong. The panic meters needs to be very high for both LA teams. After winning Game 2, it's a little less for the Lakers, but I still,
they didn't look great.
No, they didn't look great. And even late, midway through the fourth quarter, it was still a 1-point game. I think that at one point in time, the Suns even had the lead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it looked. I mean, quarter 1, Lakers came out with their hair on fire. It looked like they were going to blow the doors open. But the Suns hung around. They hung around, hit some threes at the end of the first, and stayed in the game. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens in LA with the Lakers. But when it comes to the Clippers, man, they need to. I firmly believe they need to leave the city.
I want to have a deeper conversation on this sometime because imagine if they reemerged in Seattle.
I mean, that would be. I mean, because Seattle, it is a crime that Seattle does not have a basketball team.
And if you went there with the star power of Kawhi and Paul George,
you're in. But they need to be Seattle Supersonics. I don't want them to be Seattle Clippers.
I don't care what they are.
Seattle,
I don't think they can. For legal reasons and whatnot, I'm not sure they can because the Oklahoma City Thunder might still own the trademark.
You might be right on that. I hope it's true, but you might be right on that.
I mean, like, I just would have a hard time. I think there's way too many loopholes that they would have to jump through to make them the Seattle Supersonics.
Yeah. All right, well, listen, let's hit that break, and then we're going to come back, talk about Game 2.
And I have switched my Ben Simmons take.
I can't wait to hear it. Brad in the morning, Marcus Brown, Justin Emery, be right back.
Justin Emery here to tell you about Beef Jerky Outlet in Langhorne. Sharon and Michael are the owners, and they have the best beef jerky around. You can never go wrong with the maple bacon, but my personal favorite is the honey barbecue turkey jerky. Turkey jerky? Yeah, I said it, turkey jerky. It's getting warmer out, which means grilling season. And what better way to top your meat than with Beef Jerky Outlet's very own sauces? Spicy chipotle, sriracha horseradish, and roasted pineapple habanero are just a few of your options to choose from. Located at 110 Lincoln Highway at the corner of Oxford Valley Road, for shipping nationwide on their website, beefjerkyoutlet.com/Langhorn. Use promo code BREMI for 10% off and say, yo, Justin sent you.
Hi, I'd like to talk to you guys about my friends at Amy's Pizza. Amy has a plethora of pizzas for your munching pleasure, especially pizzas such as Hawaiian, margarita, and taco. Taco actually being my personal favorite. And also plenty more. If it's sandwiches you desire, they've got those too. Cheesesteaks, burgers, hoagies, even gyros. Amy's offers pickup and takeout options. Also, they're available on Grubhub. Amy's located at 332 York Road in the heart of Hatboro. You can call them today at 215-957-1000. Again, that's 215-957-1000.
Every Friday, we're bringing you bits, but it's especially hilarious to me knowing what I've seen happen in McDonald's locations over the years. Hell, what I've done in McDonald's locations over the years. Hits.
Always winterize your pipes. I think that is such a funny...
And everything in between.
Nah,
See, it's the opposite. You don't see it, and he was totally about eating that baby. We are Twitty and the Brand. We're going to ruin something that you love. New episodes weekly on all your favorite podcast streamers.
Yeah, man. Welcome back. Brad in the morning. Marques Brown, Justin Emery. Game 2 tonight. Sixers-Wizards. Game 1 we talked about on Monday. I gave it like a C+. I was not thrilled with the performance. I thought they did enough to win the game. And they're such a more superior team than the Wizards. It kind of doesn't matter what they do. They need to just show up and not fall down to win against this team. The Wizards are not a threat in any stretch of imagination. They're not a Sixers level. It's not even close. And you saw that by game 1. Sixers playing in the playoffs a C+. They played a C+ ratio and still won the game. And they won by 7. I mean, there was no point in that game. Even though they were down by 5 in the third quarter, I was never like, here we go. Even if they lost that game, I wouldn't have been like, here we go. Because the Wizards are a joke for the most part. I mean, they have Beal, they have Westbrook. Bertans will hit some threes, but what else you got? Hijimura is okay. But, I mean, there's no one there that I'm consistently afraid about. Now, for me in this game, this is the game I feel that could be the L. If they're going to lose a game in this series, it's tonight. I don't believe that they lose in Washington games 3 or 4. I'm not worried about them going and playing on the road. I think they're a better road team they've been in the past, and I think they're a better. I think the Capital One Arena is not a place that strikes fear in anyone's heart to go play. Like they're not a place you care about playing. If they're going to lose a game, the oops happen tonight. If it's going to be an oops, now. I'm still picking them to win this game tonight because I'm hoping I get better play from most of the team. So if I go through the guys that I have no problem with, is Joe was okay, Toby was okay. That's basically it. Everybody else I need more from.
So I don't think they're going to have any problem with the Wizards tonight. I think that it was too close for comfort last time, and they're not going to allow it to be that close again. Embiid will not get into foul trouble again. And overall, I think that
they were bad Sunday. I don't usually like to do that, but they were not good. They weren't bad at all.
The rest of the team will generally play better. And I hope 25 plays better because
we'll talk about it.
I didn't want to kill him on Monday, and I said I wasn't going to kill him because 15. Now we had thought it was 15 and 12. It was actually 15 and 15. But the more that I've had 48 hours to sleep on it and think about it, and I've realized that's nothing. I'm unimpressed. Now we had joked that before the show, you were like, "Oh, did you come back on my side?" And I said, "No, I walked past you. You were posted up, and you're like, this is where I'm staying," and I just blew right by you.
Yeah, I just saw you walk past down the boardwalk.
Yeah, it's I'm unimpressed. It's a non-factor to me now. And I look at it like this. 15 assists is a lot of assists. Don't get me wrong, because you're reliant on other guys to knock down shots. So I don't want to, like, a lot of people are like, oh, he got 15 assists. Well, it's still relying on someone else. You might draw, you go in, you kick it out, somebody knocks it down. They still have to knock down that shot. The 15 boards, I'm unimpressed with. Embiid missed most of a lot more of the first half than he typically would. Somebody's got to get them boards. He's 6'10". You know what I mean? And I can't accept the 6 points.
No, it's unacceptable.
So I say that, if we're grading it, if on Monday, if you would have asked me what I gave Ben Simmons, I would have gave him between a B and a B+. I struggle to give him a C. And the only reason I do give him a C is because they won the game.
Yeah, I mean,
I'd like to give him a D. I would love to give him a D.
Here's the thing: the 15 and 15, obviously, it's not a problem at all. Those are really good numbers, but it doesn't mean
I don't want you to have 15 assists. Get rid of 5 of those assists. 4 of them. Get rid of 4 of those assists, and instead of having 15 assists, have 11 assists and 14 points.
But the thing is, if he didn't miss 6 free throws,
he would have had a triple-double.
He ends up with 12, 15, 15, which is still, like, I've always been consistent in this. I just need you to be in the 16-point to 19-point range. That's all I'm asking. Because, again, it's not about the Wizards. It's not about the Knicks. It's not about the Hawks. It's about the Bucks and the Nets. That's what it's about. That's what it's about. And if I'm going to sit here and be convinced that if they played the Bucks, if they played the Nets last night, that the way they played on Sunday would beat that team, I'd be lying. It wouldn't. And the big reason why it wouldn't is because you're not getting enough production offensively from your point guard. You're not.
We're going to the we got an in-show comment here, going to the comment board on Twitter right here. Friend of the show, Prince Blue, checks in. He says, Marcus, you will accept it and like it.
I will not accept it, and I don't like it. It's for me, like I said, it's just really simple. I'm not one of those people that's demanding things from Ben Simmons that he is not capable of doing. I'm not asking you to go out and get me 30. I'm not asking you to go out and get me 25. I don't need that from you. I just need you to do more than you're doing right now offensively. And I said this a couple months ago. I'll say it again. I'm not going to kill him right now. I'm not. Because it's still wait and see. It's wait and see. But I'm telling you right now, if this team does not go where I think they should go, if they don't do what I think they will do, Lord help Ben Simmons and that show after the Sixers are eliminated from playoffs.
Yeah.
If they are, I am almost certain that it will be because 25 didn't 25.
Yep. I agree 100%.
I don't see another scenario where they don't make a serious run other than he's not doing and living up to the part of his bargain that he needs to. And the thing is frustrating is that you saw him that first couple minutes when he came out with a purpose of, I'm going to get some shots.
Thought he was going to cook. He looked like he was going to cook that game.
He looked like he was ready to go. And like, then he goes through these stretches where he's just looking to just exist and pass the ball. Like, it's just unnatural. It's just so weird to me that how you have a guy that big, that strong, that fast, that will go, let's start a fast break and stop dead in the middle of a fast break, turning to pass, turning his back to the rim. That's weirdo behavior. It's odd.
You want to know something crazy? I heard on one of the shows. Somebody was talking about, I forget who it was, but when you always have a player, like a star player that, or let me rephrase that. You have a player that has a lot of potential and you're trying to really round out their whole game. It's always, you got to teach them defense for the most part. It's always, how crazy is it that you have to get this guy and coach him up to play offense?
Right.
Like, everything about this is unnatural.
Yes, I completely agree. It is. It's very weird.
You have got. I mean, I'm just using this dude as an example. Brandon Ingram. He's a walking bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Or actually, let me. Here's a better one. Because Brandon Ingram has really improved a lot this year. So, Tyler Hero, walking bucket. We said it. We've been saying it all season. Dude is a walking bucket.
Yeah.
He's also a turnstile.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he's not guarding anybody. He's not into it.
With Ben Simmons is the exact other opposite way.
Right.
He will guard you and D you up and then have no idea what to do with the ball.
Right.
And it's just it's like a case study. It's honestly like a case study in like sports psychology because it doesn't make any sense.
I completely agree. I just look at, like I said, this is the game for me that I can see potentially being an L. I'm predicting the win, but like this is the one game where I'm like, I can see it happen.
What's your score prediction? Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I think the Sixers win by double digits.
If they win this game, they rout. I don't like them close. If it's a close game out, I don't like them. But if they win this game, it's a 117-98 type of win. But if it's close going in the fourth quarter, I don't like them.
Let me check the line. I'll check the line for you real quick right now. Let's see what we're working with. We got 8. Line is 8.
So it hasn't moved off of. So it was 7.5 game 1. So Vegas give him a half point, give him even 8, which is interesting. So Vegas likes him to win big tonight.
Well, it flirted with 8 a little bit for game 1. It was 8, 7.5, 8, 7. It finally closed at 7.5.
Yeah.
But this line hasn't budged at all off 8.
Okay. So yeah, Vegas likes him big. Okay. And hopefully that works out for us. We will see. But we're gonna wrapped up here. And on Friday, we're gonna have Justin Grasso on to talk about games 1 and 2 and look forward to game 3. Looking forward to that. And we'll have a lot more Philly playoff basketball to talk about.
We also may or may not have a conspiracy.
I'm in.
We might not.
We'll say.
I don't know. Yeah, we will see.
See what happens. But until next time, Mark will be tweeting everywhere.
At Justin Michelle, strictly on Twitter. And I got to get you some buffalo chicken jerky.
You definitely need to do that.
Come on, you got to come off the mountain.
I'm gonna come off the mountain and get some. That's definitely worth the trip off the mountain. 10% off code Bremen, by the way, if you use beef jerky Langhorn. Make sure you do that and you visit all our friends at District Taco, Amy's Pizza, Uncle Mike's. Go see everybody.
Yeah.
Until next time, you can be
also. Hold on. I got it. We might have to call a J. Cole to the carpet. Oh yeah.
J. Cole on a felony?
What's that?
J. Cole on a felony?
You know that 500-foot cheesesteak thing he mentioned?
Yeah.
Well, it turned out it was actually 600-foot. And if that isn't food felony, I don't know what is.
All right. Well,
it was bad. He needs to be called to the carpet.
And until next time, you can be with us, you can be against us, but never going to stop us. And Magic Johnson is still overrated. Late.